business, right, there's nothing wrong with copying the best cat.
Yeah. Why am I beating myself up trying to go against the grain and use other people's money and not use other people's money?
A year later, my company has funded over about $18 million in business funding.
63% of people don't get started in business due to lack of funds. So if you have a way to get the funds, there's no reason why you... What's going on, y'all? So it's the Funded and Closed podcast where myself and other successful entrepreneurs, multi-millionaires are showing you guys how they got started in their business, how they got started in their real estate, how they got started in whatever it is, but utilizing other people's money. See, the thing is, a lot of people believe that they need millions and millions and millions of dollars to get started in whatever business it is. Now, I'm showing you from myself and other entrepreneurs that we actually utilize different forms of other people's money to get started. So hopefully this podcast shows you different strategies so you can do the exact same thing. So you're not sitting around waiting on the couch like, I gotta wait till I get millions of dollars to get started. So today we have a special guest, and I'm actually excited because this is our first ever episode on this new podcast. So it's a special thing for me. And not to mention, this is one of my good friends, my guy Alphonso, Dropout Millionaire. What's up, bro?
What's good, my guy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I feel blessed, bro. I tell everybody, whether you got, going through a stress day, whether your day is busy, if God gave you the energy to wake up healthy, alive, you can see, you can walk, you're blessed. I mean,
that's a fact.
Everything else after that is a blessing. So every day, bro, I wake up, whether I'm stressed out or not, I'm blessed, I'm happy regardless.
It's crazy. I met this guy and I said, how you doing today? He said, great. And he said, how you doing? I said, great. And he said, well, I know it's great. I said, why? He said, because your eyes open. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I was like, put in perspective like that. I feel like a lot of people, don't take advantage of those things and more so take advantage of negative things. So, for example, you have a bad moment, keyword moment, but you call it a bad day. Like, well, take advantage of the fact that you're alive. And that automatically changes things because there's a lot of people that's, fighting for their life right now. Whether it's disease or just, got into a car, like anything bad could have happened, and they're fighting for their life. Whereas though we got stuck at the light, we missed our light. Damn, I'm late for work. This a whole bad day. I got a bad life, or like I got written up for work for coming to work late. When some people don't even have a job, like that's your first write up, and you pissed off, or even in real estate, like a deal got pushed back. That happened to me before several times. If you really in real estate, that stuff happens. You get a deal pushed back. You think you got a check coming on Friday, got pushed back the next week or next month, and then you like, man, real estate sucks. I'm quit it. And I think, and let me know what you think. I think a lot of that is because social media. People don't show like the nutty times. Like I try to show both sides. Like, damn, this happened or this happened. Like I just on Instagram the other day, I was like, they was just shooting in front of my property. Like I had bullets, had to change the windows out. Bullets went through the window, and I expressed that to show like, I gotta buy new windows. That doesn't take the fact that it's a $500,000 property. That doesn't take the fact that it's cash flowing. That doesn't take the fact that thank God the tenant wasn't there when it happened. That doesn't take so there's a lot of things that we look at that side of it and it's like, oh. Doesn't take the fact that I already made $100,000 and some thousand off the house. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff.
So all my friends, right? I love to give them perspective, right? So what I mean by that, right? First of all, we're in America.
Yeah.
We got resources around us. We got opportunity. Right now, because I've been to over 30 countries, people don't even got the opportunity or resources. It could be in Africa, in South America. They don't even got Wi-Fi. They don't got clean water. They're not thinking about buying property. They don't even have the opportunity to buy property. That's why when I say every day we wake up in America, we're blessed because people don't even have the opportunity to even wake up healthy, to even wake up with any type of resources to even be in position to do the things we do. That's why I'm always really happy. I never really have a bad day because like my perspective is so broad and not just what's happening in my day right now.
Yeah, it's a
That's
bad
why,
moment.
The little things never. But I can lose $100,000 today. I have the opportunity and resources to get it back tomorrow, next month, that people do not have. That's why I say I'm always blessed.
That's a fact.
Right, and a lot of times I feel like we look at social media and people we don't even know, You don't know what these folks do for money. You don't know the type of work they put in, what they're putting in 10, 12, 14-hour days. You don't know how much money they invested into their craft. So I never look at what someone else is doing. I might look at it as motivation. Be like, yo, I want to be just like them, but I would never look at what they're doing like, damn, man, like I can't do that. Like I just look at it really like motivation for real, for real.
Mm-hmm. I say it like this. Like let's say for example, how old are you?
26.
20. You 26?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I knew you were like 20 something. I thought you were like 29. I just turned 29. I thought you were the same age as me. Damn. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I just turned 29. Okay. Yeah. That's what's up. Damn, I didn't know that. So the way I look at things is like and two things I want to bring up. A lot of people, want to be like somebody off of 60 seconds and don't even look at they 26 years. So what I mean by that is like I look at your highlight reel on Instagram, your 60-second video. I want to be just like you, and don't see the 26 years of grind, the 26 years of hustle, the 26 years of sacrifice, the 26 years of plays. Or I don't see the 26 years, and this isn't you because I know you in real life. Or the 26 years of fraud. I want to be like you off your 60-second highlight clip. Don't even realize behind the scenes, 26 years of just failure, and we just showing something nice. You know what I mean? Freaking a Mary shirt, and they're like, "Oh shoot, man, this is it." So it's just a lot of things to keep in mind with that. But you said something key. I met this guy, and he was a car dealer. He owned a car dealership, like nothing, like not a Ford, but it was a small car. But he had some cars in there, and I met this guy who was either Nigerian or he's from Ghana. I can't remember, so I don't want to mess up, what he got going on. But he said, man, y'all Americans are the laziest people I've ever met. And I was like, dang, I'm with him a little bit. I'm like, all right. And I said, wow. Why? He said, where I'm from, this really blew my mind. He said, where I'm from, you can't borrow money. You can't borrow money. And he said the second thing is, if you do borrow money and you don't pay it back, they'll chop your hand off. They'll chop your.
I have to tell you.
Yo.
I have to tell you. So, of course, I'm West African.
Uh-huh.
My parents migrated here in 1992. Was raised in Southwest Philadelphia, Section 8, because a lot of immigrants, when they come here, they don't got a visa or a green card, meaning you can't work a job. Mm-hmm. So my dad, first job coming to America at age 30, like a lot of Africans drying cars at the car wash.
Yeah.
And the cold, the hot, drying cars. And I just watched him really bust his behind. Like,
that's what's up.
Like his first, then he saved money. He's working downtown at the parking lot like a lot of other Africans. Then he saved money. He got his CDL. Then he drove trucks for 8 years. So I just watched him really grind 10, 12-hour days. And that's why I feel like I got a lot of my work ethic from.
So I want to say something too. But one last thing, and the guy said, he was like, yo, if you guys can get $100,000 online, fill out an application, he said that's impossible where I'm from. And he said if you don't pay it back, the worst thing they do is put a ding on your credit that you can get it off. When he said that, it just was like, hey, I never thought about it. He said the worst thing that happens to you, you get a ding on your credit report that you can send some letters and get it off.
Yep.
And it kind of blew my mind. I said, dang, he said, where I'm from, you can get that's not even possible. And if it is possible, you get your arm cut off. But one thing back to what you just said is I want to get into, mindset. Watching your dad, your parents in general come here and literally go from nothing to something.
Yeah.
Right in front of your face. Like, how does that affect you, where you at now, being young, successful, 26? I didn't even know you were 26, bro.
Yeah, I feel like growing up, it just always showed me that anything was possible. My parents didn't come here, they fled here. There's a difference.
Oh,
they escaped a very brutal civil war, a 20-year civil war. So I'm sure you've seen the movie Purge, Blood Diamond. It was like that, but times 5. Like they really left all these stuff. It was a hut, a jungle, whatever. Literally came here, no clothes. Came here undernourished from the amount of no food being. So they fled here, and I just really. I always love to tell my mom to tell me her story just so I can be remotivated again. Mm-hmm. So I can be more hungry because I'm y'all made it through all that, came to America, and y'all still have y'all sanity, and y'all still can work 10, 12-hour days, not having a green card, not having a visa, I'm just like, damn. It's like if y'all can do that, I was raised here basically, compared to y'all, with a silver spoon in my mouth. Not because they spoiled me, because I got the opportunity and resources around me. So I just always had that work ethic in me, but I just didn't know, which field to apply that work ethic, which took me probably like 20 years like just to figure out myself.
Yeah, that's a part of the game. Some people take 30 years to figure themselves out, 40 years so there's never no time frame on that. But I think you said something great that a lot of people should tap into. When you feeling undermotivated, when you feeling like in a rut, you ask your mom to tell you stories. You look back on the stories she told you, so you can get that spark again. I feel like that other people should do that. Like for example, for me, growing up, my mom was like, she's a pastor, right, and she's real like helping. So she had people staying at the house with us from time to time, and I'll like, let's say they might be 40 plus staying at the house with us, right? And it wasn't a big house, 3-bedroom house, so you see how that go. And I would just be like, yo, I just know I don't want to be like that. So you look back like, why you got? I don't want to be staying at somebody else's house at 40-something years old, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with them. Like, they still great people, but they ran into a position. I was just like, I don't never want to be in that. So sometimes looking back or thinking of somebody else's situation is like, I just don't want to be like that. You know what? I don't want to, I need to spark again because I'm thinking about where they came from. There's no reason why I should be, ungrateful, or I shouldn't work because I see how they made it happen. Let me get my ass up. Let me start putting things together. So I want to touch on, cause just share like, cause I already know you got a couple things going on, and it's crazy. The thing I like about you the most, the thing I really like about you the most is you're open minded. So for me, and that's one of my goals for 2023 going into 2024 is to be more open-minded. So I got started in real estate in 2017. That was my first March 2017. April 2017 is the first deal I ever closed. April 2017. And it just, took off from there. But I've been real estate since. All real estate. I was renting cars out for a little bit, but everything was real estate. Might have touched Airbnb, still everything was real estate. Whereas though you put your hands in a couple different things and actually was, did good in those stuff. And then some of the stuff, man, y'all don't even realize some of the stuff he be saying be 8-figure, not like these real conversations, but they all in different lanes. So I want you to touch on some of the things that you've done, and if you find with whatever you comfortable sharing some of the things you got coming up.
I feel like I love to be very transparent, right? So I'm going to tell y'all a very transparent story. So 2016, I started to wholesale real estate, right? Off the rip, I brought a course on because I feel like the thing about courses and me, I feel like if you can buy somebody's course, get the blueprint, implement it, it's literally a cheat code. It's like playing a video game, putting in a cheat code. Now you're on like level 10 if you implement what you learn in the course. So I was a huge believer of getting ahead fast. I like to get there fast. I brought a course on real estate, and I was off the rip. I set up my virtual assistants in the Philippines. Wow. I actually flew to South Asia. I was there. I trained them for 30 days on how to cold call, how to do acquisition, disposition, how to get into the American culture. Because when you call people in America, they can tell you, once they hear an accent, they already on angle. So they're like, this is a scam. So I had to coach them up. So I came back here. So 2016, I was a sophomore in college, transferred to Temple. And actually at that point, my company was doing, probably was quite closing like on average like 2-3 deals a month. The average deal size probably like 15-20K. So by the time I was a junior in college, I was probably making 30-40K month profit, right? But literally blowing everything going out, blowing everything on drip designer.
I
wasn't saving nothing.
Got some of the Gucci's.
Wasn't saving nothing, right? So later on that year, I started learning more about private equity, and I actually sold my company for 18 months for a couple $100,000. Sold my company my junior year, dropped out of college, thought I was balling. So I sold that company around 2018, around Christmas time, right? So, which is also the worst time to sell a company because that's tax season, right? So at 2018 that's about 5 years ago. I'm only about 21. I didn't know I had to pay capital gain tax. I didn't know nothing about you got to pay 40% capital gain tax. Meaning, If I sold my company for 400 grand, I gotta pay almost $200,000 in taxes. But the whole time I'm blowing all the money. So literally, sold my company in 2018. 2019, by the end of 2019, I was damn near broke. Moved back to my grandma's crib in Southwest Philadelphia, and that's why I reached probably like the most lowest point in my life. Because like the year prior, I'm on vacation every month. Got my dream car, dream watch. I'm having my way. Fast forward a year later, broke at my grandma's crib, depressed. And that's when that's when like life really hit me. I'm like, damn, like went from college student running a business to living with my grandma and broke in less than 2 years. I'm like, that shit was humbling, bro. Humbling. And I just went through a time of like disbelief. I didn't believe in myself. Everything at that time I was touching, it was failing. Everything that I did not, because I couldn't even focus. I was just so down and depressed. I want to eat for days. I got skinnier. I didn't really talk to a lot of my friends. And I just got up one day. So at that point, my parents had a grocery store, right? So I would go there, work at the grocery store, but it was paying me, a couple $100 a week. I'm like, man, I'm used to making a couple of grand, man. Yeah. So one day I just woke up. I'm like, yo, why I'm feeling bad for myself right now? I have the opportunity, the resources around me. I need to get up and figure this shit out, man. Because there's people that don't even got Wi-Fi, don't got access to internet, don't got clean water. I'm like, yo, I gotta stop feeling bad for myself and start putting in the work. So that's when I just went through a journey of self-education. That's why now I preach so much self-education. You gotta educate yourself, because college is great, right? If you want to be like doctor, an engineer, scientist, yes, you need the college degree. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's best to learn from other entrepreneurs. So that's what I did. I started buying everybody's course on the internet. And it was to a point for 6 months, I'm just buying courses. I got all this knowledge, but I ain't making no moves. I ain't making no money, yo. So I had a friend that came to my crib. She's like, yo, I want to start, a healthcare company. So she said I need about 80,000. So at that point, that like year prior to her telling me that I was studying credit and business funding.
He was getting ready.
I was getting ready because, like, I don't know. I feel like God was just, like, prepping me. Because I don't know why I was even studying that stuff. Because at that point, I ain't had no bread. But I'm like, if I can learn this credit and funding, I know I don't got money, but I know who do got money, the bank. So how can I put myself in position to get money from the bank? So I just started diving deep. Like, bro, I would study 2 to 4 hours a day just on credit and finance and things over leverage. So fast forward, which is my best friend to this day. She said, yeah, I need about $80,000 for my business. So I said, well, I know a thing or two about business credit cards, so I'm gonna see what I can do. Ended up getting her over $100,000 in her business name, like within 45 days. I'm like, damn. So at that time, I told my mentor, he like, how much you charge? I'm like, what you mean charge? I'm like, people charge for this stuff. He's like, yeah, you can charge. I'm like, how much? You're like, 8-10 points. I'm like, so if I got 100 grand and charge her 10%, I could have made 10 grand. So I went back to her like, yo, listen, you're going to be my first testimony. I need you to tell, because she know everybody in Philly. I said, listen, by the way, her name is Tierra. No, shout out Tierra. So I was like, listen, you my testimonial. I need you to bring me clients, because I got you money. Bring me clients. So she brought me my first client. I think I made about $13K profit.
Let's go.
Less than 30 days.
Let's go.
I just dropped on my knees. I was like, I said, God, thank you. I just said, thank you. Thank you. At that point, I was behind on all my credit cards. Bank account. I actually got a video on my phone. Bank account. All my accounts is less than $500. Like at that point, I was about to be hit with like 4 or 5 late payments. I'm like, oh God, I need to figure. So like when that money hit my account, I dropped to my knees and I just did a little cry and a prayer like, oh God, thank you. And I said, this is my niche. I've been mastering. I got it. Fast forward, a year later, my company has funded over about $18 million in business funding to majority black-owned businesses in Philadelphia, Florida, and the tri-state. So,
let's get it, man. Yeah. Definitely gotta give you props on that,
bro.
Yo, and then one, I want to just just applaud you for having the humility and just being able to share that story.
For real.
Because this can be seen by millions, and the fact that you was willing to share that. A lot of people aren't willing to share those type of stories and share the behind the scenes. And the main thing I want people to understand is that You know, you have bad moments or rough moments in your life. That doesn't mean your life is horrible. That doesn't mean that's going to stay like that forever. You know, you did something crazy. I won't say crazy, you did something amazing where you said, look, I'm in this position in my life where things is rough. The typical person, right? The typical person flees to go ahead and do illegal things, do dumb stuff, do just goofy stuff. You said, look, if I can just hold my breath for a couple months and just learn this craft, everything is going to be all right. That takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of discipline because you already, you know, at a low point, you already broke.
Yeah, bro, I was hungry.
Yeah, you like, look, listen, man, if I can just hold my breath in this moment for at least 3, 4, 5, 6 months and learn this stuff, yo, by the time when after that, I'm gonna be all right. And that's a lot of people just like, nah, man, I'm going, you know, work at this job, or, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and rob something, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and sell this, I'm gonna start doing all this other stuff. And you like, man, if I can just get and I started listening to this guy, his name is Ed Milet, and he talks about one more, like, if I can just get through one more year, if I can get through one more day, if I can get through one more month, I can get through one, I'm gonna be all right. So, you know, definitely shout out to that. And so now I wanna talk about now. So I'm assuming that this is what you still do, or I know that, but you know, for people that's watching, like, you still are funding people and getting them situated.
Yeah, so now one of my companies, so my finance company, we specialize in business loans, right? So whether you're a brand new business, whether your business is making millions of dollars, we can get you money from the bank. Whether it's, you know, a brand new company can qualify for, you know, business credit cards, right? But these cards, they can give you between, like, let's say 5 to 20, sometimes even $50,000 on one business card at 0% interest. It could be from 9 to 18 months. So even if your LLC is only 6 months old, of course you gotta have good credit, right? And you can go to this bank, get 10 here, this bank, get 20 here. Before you look at, you go to like 5, 6, 7 banks, you got 50, 100, 200K that you can play. Because a lot of businesses, because I feel like a lot of folks, right? A lot of folks our age, you know, they got the idea, right? They get that, like, they know, they want to get into real estate, into Airbnb, but they don't got the working capital. That's why, because I remember when I wanted to get into real estate, and Airbnb, stuff like that, but I had no money. So I'm like, I want to find a solution to find, you know, to bridge that gap between the people that want to start a business and the money. That's why I created a done for you service where I go in, I get you the money for you, I coach you, then I charge you a fee after the money's in your hand, which you can pay me from a portion of the money, so there's no money you pay me out of your pocket.
So this whole OPM situation, whole other people's
money, bro. Because you gotta think about it, right? So a lot of folks, this is how money works, right? So the Federal Reserve prints the money, right? They loan the money out to banks for a very low interest rate. Might be one, like, very, very low interest. The bank loan that money out in the form of car, mortgages, business loans, credit cards. Interest between 3 to, like, let's sometimes even 35% on a credit card. So the banks are making money off of our money 24/7, 365. So why can't we leverage the bank money, right, to invest it into an asset to make us money? You know what I mean? Because times have changed. Now there's so much knowledge out here. If you're literally not leveraging the bank money and depleting your own cash, you're at a loss.
You know, what blew my mind is when I looked into some multi-billionaires and looked at their situation, and they're utilizing other people's money. So we're literally going against the grain by not utilizing the bank's money when people that have money are not even using their money. You know, Donald Trump and a lot of other I just saw the article with Floyd, and he said his newest investment, he utilized other people's money to do that. So, and he has cash. Literally cold hard cash. You know, I don't know what his account looks like, but I'm pretty sure he has cash. So, and he's not even using his money for some of these investments. Why am I beating myself up trying to go against the grain to use other people's money and not use other people's money? And I think it also comes down, so I think the culture is changing now, but a lot of people let someone's ignorance affect how they move. So, for example, I'm saying, look, listen, I got this credit card, or let's say, for example, I'm gonna get a loan and go buy this car. Let's say the car is $50,000. And let's make it even smaller. Car is $20,000, right? And you're like, I want to get a auto loan for the car. And you got somebody that's like 20, like, yo, you gonna cash that out?
Right.
A lot of, maybe, let's say rappers, man, everything, I own everything out, cash. Want a car a lot, cash. I'm buying everything cash, like, I don't want no loans. Well, first, back to what we were saying, don't look at somebody's 60-second clip and not look at their behind the scenes.
Exactly.
20,000 to somebody that have 100 million sitting, you might not be in that position.
Exactly.
But also, too, if you have $20,000, I look at it as like you're getting more bang for your buck. Now you can kill two birds with one stone. If I had $20,000, why would I use my $20,000 to buy this car? I can go ahead and get a loan to buy the car, and now I got still my $20,000 free to go ahead and make another move, make an investment, do something like that. Now you can spread your bread out a little more, and then also a lot of these moves, and you know, we utilize other people's money, banks' money, lenders' money for real estate. If you get a property that and you utilize someone else's money to buy that property, and you're able to go ahead and get everything done with the property, and your mortgage payment is $700 a month, but then you renting the property out for $1,550. One of my properties, the mortgage payment is $720. I'm renting out for $1,550. But not to mention, I made a $30,000 profit in between that whole deal, so I got a lump sum of 30, and then I'm still making $700, $800 a month from that property.
That's
like
cash flow.
That's no money out of my pocket. Everything is straight other people's money. So it's like, let's put it like this: I could possibly make the whole $1,500 myself if I use nobody's money. But that deal required $110. It was $100,000. Just use whole number. It was $100,000 that was needed. So let's do the math. If I would have saved, let's say, like, I don't want to use nobody else's money. I want to go ahead and use my own money and do the whole thing. I'm gonna drop $100,000 cash. Mm-hmm. Now instead of making $800 a month, I'm making $1,500 a month. So that's $700. Let's put it like this: $100,000 divided by 7. That's 142 times that 700. That's a long time it would have took me to go ahead and get my money back from that. That's 142 months it would have took me to make my $100,000 back, when I can just use the $100,000 and profit my 800, make my 30 grand lump sum and call it a day. We're letting other people talk us into, use your own money. Why are you using cash? Why am I using credit? Why are you using credit? Think about it like, well, I bought this house cash. Well, bro, did you even get your money back? No, I got 140 months left. I bought so many other things by the time you even got your first credit break.
So the name in the game is just one word, and that's leverage, right? Because I had a client, he does trucking. He wanted to buy a truck cash for, I think it was like $100,000. I'm like, you can finance a truck, right? Only put down 10%. So now instead of you buying that one truck for $100,000 cash, you can put down $10,000 on 10 trucks. Mm-hmm. So now that $100,000 truck was only going to bring you in probably like $10,000 a month. But now you leverage the $100,000. You put down $10,000 on 10 trucks. Then bringing in $80,000 to $100,000 a month. He was like, I didn't even think about that. I said, yeah, bro. There's people out there that have money that's willing to lend it for you for a little bit of interest. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit, but you're leveraging their money to make 8 to 10x profit. Mm-hmm. So you just gotta put yourself in position just to understand how that works, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's reading a book, getting a mentor. Just get the knowledge, because right now it's no excuse. The knowledge is out there, right? If you're just being ignorant, and all ignorant means is just not knowing, right? Yeah. The word ignorant just means you do not know. So just expose yourself to the information, whether it's watching podcasts like this, whether it's YouTube University. I just love YouTube. Whether it's buying books, the information is out there. Just go out and try to get it.
Yeah, and one of the things I challenge people to do is when you go to the bank to open up your bank account or just deposit money, withdraw money, talk to the bank tellers, talk to the loan officers there. Ask them, like, who's some of your big-time clients? Mm. At the bank I go to, they said, one of our big-time clients is Rite Aid. We lend them money all the time. Mm. So when you hear stuff is like that, it's like, why go against the grain when Rite Aid is even getting money lended to them? So, one of the biggest things that I heard, I won't say everybody, but Milano in Philly. Yep. She had a meetup one time in Philly, and I went to it, and it was like a small group. This was a couple years ago. It was like 10 people in the group, and we just was meeting up, and we just were talking like a little powwow, I guess you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Yo, what I do is, and correct me if I mess it up, not you, but hers. You see this." She said one of the things that I do is I look at what these big time companies are doing, and I don't say going against, but I'm going up against what they got going on. So if Louis Vuitton is doing these type of moves, making these type of moves, and they making a lot of money, all right, let me position myself so I can do the exact same things, or I can go up against them, versus I'm over here trying to argue or copy or mimic or watch what you're doing, and you're selling 10 shirts a week. Like, and you in Philly, so let me go back and forth with you. No, let me see what Louis Vuitton just borrowed $100 million so they can go ahead and build X amount of stores. All right, let me start doing that type of play so I can go and position myself to be in the same position. So that's what I like to do. Okay, look, who's the top real estate people I know? What kind of moves are they making? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? No offense to the guys that's buying, 2 single family properties a year. There's no offense to that. But then keep doing your thing, keep growing it. But right now I'm looking at, this guy just went ahead and did a 100-unit building. And he built it from the ground up. This dude just did a 1,000-unit building. Built it from the ground up. Like, how did they do that? What moves are they making? How they position themselves? I can, play that same role.
And in business, right, there's nothing wrong with copying the best cat.
Yeah.
Because if they doing something that you're looking at them to, just sit back and watch they moves. Like, see what they did, but most importantly, see how they did it.
Yeah.
Right? So whether you got to add some value to them, whether you got to join a program, see how they did it. Because in business, it's way easier to copy the best cat than try to recreate it, right? So there we go. Okay.
Right. There we go.
Back. Okay. So through my finance company, right? So a lot of my friends that I hang with now, they're like twice my age. They're all between, like, say 40 to 55, right? Most of them are into healthcare. A lot of them buy and sell healthcare companies to private equity companies. So I was like, y'all buy and sell companies. I'm like, okay. So they told me the business model, how they buy a company, they will scale it up by leveraging, technology, and they sell it. So through my finance company, I speak to a lot of business owners. I'm like, somebody is going to be selling a company. So by the grace of God, I actually closed on a medical staffing agency for my birthday in August.
Nice.
So I'm like, bet, God gave me my shot, and I'm going to buy this company. So I brought it right now. I'm scaling it probably for the next 2-3 years. That I'm going to exit off a nice little profit.
There we go.
Right? So, but that idea came from me copying the best cat, which was my mentors, right? Because they already got a blueprint that I can follow. I brought the company. I'm going to implement their blueprint. Don't worry, you got to put it into work. It's not easy work. You got to put it into work. But it's best to copy the best cat, because I can copy their blueprint, implement it in my new company, scale it, sell it, exit out. I'm good for life.
It's so funny that you say that, and this is back what I was saying to you. And the thing that I love about what you got going on, what you doing, how you think, is that you think about how to do things a little bit faster, a little bit bigger, but with not as much work. So one of the things that you said, you bought a company. Average person, actually at 25, 26, ain't thinking about that. For sure. That's 100%. But also, I actually was talking to you, actually. I was thinking about getting into home health care, and you was like, bro, why start and get the licensing, spend a year trying to get that stuff situated, boom. Why don't you buy somebody license not doing nothing with it, and then see if that license is able to, get situated and get rolling if it's been in use already. Wow. I ain't like, if somebody's selling a license for $20,000, $50,000 plus dollars, $100,000, whatever they selling a license for, selling a company for, they not really doing nothing crazy with it. You can leverage, business credit to buy that and then get started. It's like, and that's the whole point of this whole podcast, funding and close. How we can use other people's funds, or how can we do things to get funded so we can close on deals, close on businesses, close on properties, close on any type of things that's going to produce us income. And when you said that to me, I'm like, why the hell I ain't think? Like, instead of go through the licensing project, get all that stuff situated. And I'm not knocking anybody that does that, but it's like, we can just jump in and get started now.
There's a faster way to do it. And the only reason I think like that, because of my level of exposure. I've been exposed to too much at a young age. That's why that's why a lot of times when I hang around my old heads, they're like 40 or 50. I'm always the youngest one in the group, but my mindset is just like theirs because like I've been exposed to too much at a young age, so that's why I can think like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times faster because of my exposure. I feel like a lot of people, what you need to work on, well, one of the things you got to work on right now is getting exposed to the right information, right? Exposed to the right knowledge, exposed to the right things that can take you from level 1 to level 10 5 times faster than trying doing it by yourself.
How'd you get into the? I'm just curious. How'd you get into that room of exposure? Especially because a lot of people hang around by default growing up, or in your time frame right now, you're hanging around your same age group just by default. 26-year-olds hang out with 26-year-olds. So how you get into that room?
Yeah, so really just by being valuable, honestly, because like me, I basically sell money. Everybody wants money. So a lot of my oldies I hang with, they already sold a company, 10, 20, 30 million. They're good. But people love to still leverage the bank money. So they will call me for the business loans. We'll talk, we'll bust it up. And we just start to build like a genuine relationship. And once I seen what they was on, I see, okay, he got this going on. How can I add some kind of value to him so he can work with me? So I just started, probably, financing some of, their deals free of charge, showing them that I can handle a 10, $20 million deal. It's showing them how valuable I am, because sometimes, because the average millionaire just don't want to talk to you, right? Why do they want to talk to you for? They not your family, they not your dad, they not, you're not paying them. Why do they want to talk to you? Just trying to add or bring some kind of value to the table so, you don't feel like a burden. And I was always a huge advocator of adding value and pouring onto all my friends, and God is always pour back into me, honestly. So I can meet a stranger today. Like the other day, I was at K-Pod, right? There's a waiter, and he just looked so sad that day. Somebody was going, he said, right now, like, I just feel lost in life, right? I'm in college, but I don't know what major. I said, how old are you? I said, 20. I said, well, I was 20. I was actually feeling the same way. I was lost, right? Because, when you're trying to talk to certain people, sometimes you got to relate with them.
Yeah.
Right? So
meet them where they at.
Then I just gave him some genuine advice. I said, bro. So I just told him, my story. I said, bro, honestly, for what you want to do, you don't need college. He wanted to get actually into real estate, but he had no money. So I said, what you need to do is get the knowledge first, because a lot of businesses fail because of 2 things, right? They don't got the knowledge, and they don't have the working capital, right? Because why would you start a business with no deep knowledge and understanding, right? When you getting a job, right, that job is training you for 1 to 2 weeks, like training you. So why when you start a business, you're not getting no proper training, and that's why a lot of businesses fail, because they fail to learn and understand. They think business is sweet. Business is a monster. Business is a beast. Like, business smacked my head a couple of times. I'm like, damn, this shit done got serious. I was in there like, yo, I'm like, damn, God. I thought I was gonna be making millions. I'm like, God, had other players like, listen, son, you gotta knock your head 1, 2, 3 times.
I'm not your strongest soldier. Like, give me a break, damn.
Yeah, so that's really how I started. Like, really, because like all my group now, all they do, a lot of them do real estate, a lot of them do healthcare, and they're twice my age. But we can relate, whether it's income wise, mindset wise, just like the conversations we have. It's a little bit different. Kids my age, I'm 26. A lot of kids my age, they still just talking about women all day. They still talking about really things that's not really relevant to my interest. Yep. That's why I don't really hang around people my age unless they're like family or like my older friends, which I try to pour into them to get them like caught up like, on speed. Because when I'm traveling, whether we taking a jet, whether we go on vacation, it might cost 10, 15, 20K. I want you to come, right?
Yeah.
But I want to show you how to start a business. I'm going to show you how to fund it. But a lot of times when people are not paying you, they don't pay attention, right? So I've been trying to help family out, close friends out. They never take no action. A stranger come to me, use my company. They might get the business funding, start a business. They're on vacation with me, but my own family like, oh, I'm like, I told you last year, like, why do you take no action?
How does that make you feel?
Let's talk about that. Why do people?
That's what I was just about to switch it. Like,
why do people that have free access to you, they never take action?
Because honestly, the heart follows the pocketbook. When you don't have any actual, and this is something that's in the Bible. When you don't have any, financial attachment to anything, you don't value it. Put it like this: you give a kid a toy, that's one thing. You tell the kid they got to do chores, cut grass, rake leaves, shovel snow, clean the house, do whatever, and then you're gonna give them money. Then they can go buy that toy. They might hold on to that toy a little longer. They might clean it a little better, maintenance a little bit better, just take care of it a little bit more. It's all comes down because the heart follows the pocketbook. So you have to actually, invest in something for you to really feel it. The other thing is, it's two things. I believe it's an entitlement thing. That's one is entitlement thing. And even the second thing is it's an entitlement thing. It all comes down to entitlement. Either entitlement I'm with you. You're going to give me that game because I'm your guy. We've been cool since grade school, and it also is you always gonna make sure I'm cool. So either way you look at it as entitlement.
Exactly.
I know that you got me because we've been cool since grade school, or you better give me that game because I remember when you didn't know that game. But think about this: you remember me when I didn't know the game, but I sent you the link to the course when I went to buy it. I watched it. You didn't watch it. I sent you to link for the tickets to the same conference that I went to. You didn't go.
Exactly.
I sent you the flight itinerary to the same networking event out of town that I went to, but you chose to didn't go. I even bought you a ticket to a networking event or a conference or some type of meetup, and you still didn't go and made me waste my money. Why the hell do I have to put you on game now? Because when I was trying to get put on game with you at the same time, you decided not to do it. And then even still, because we are just nice individuals, we want everybody to win and we don't want any hate, we still go ahead and after all of that BS, we still try to put them on, give them game, give them plays. Look, listen, bro, connect me with somebody. It's a 10% funding fee. Look, listen, I'm going to just take 8. I'm going to give you 2% so you can still eat off of it. And you still, so it's at this point, I'm burnt out. I don't even.
Yeah, bring a lot to you. Bro, I done spent probably up towards $100,000 in personal education, whether that was buying courses, paying for masterminds, travel expense. But that $100,000 made me millions. But I set the courses out to my friends, my family. Hey, did you finish that course? No? Okay. Hey, guys, you finished that course? No? Okay. So none of y'all finished the course. You know why? Because y'all didn't pay for it, so y'all don't care. Y'all don't.
Nope.
If y'all ain't paying attention. Because I'm a huge advocator in, formal education, right? School, college, trade school, it make you a living. The working 9 to 5, go home, you're living cool, you're comfortable. Self-education make you a fortune, right?
Yeah.
Now you're doing things that you see your favorite rapper doing, your favorite ball player doing. You could do it too, but you just gotta put in a different level of work.
Yeah, that's a fact. It comes down to that. There's no other way to answer that question. There's no other way to sugarcoat. It's you have to pay in order to pay attention. And I can go ahead and do all the amazing things, but if you don't do it with me, you'll never fully understand. And it's just crazy to me that I'm going from morning to night trying to put deals together, and you're like, yo, bro, why aren't you yo, help me buy this house? Even the way you say it, what you mean help you? Yo, I give you some play, but what you making it? No, you're a real estate guy, so yo, make sure I get a crib. How am I gonna make sure you get a house? Think about it. It's crazy, but it all comes down to that. But I wanna switch gears a little bit because if I stay on that, I get pissed off. We be here cussing on it. So what I wanna switch to because I want this platform to not only be something that inspire, get people mindset ready, but also I believe in actionable plays. I do a lot of free classes. I do a lot of free classes. I do a lot of free networking events. I do a lot of just free a lot of stuff. But all my things and then paid stuff as well. But all my stuff is actionable steps. So and this doesn't this isn't excluded. So I want you to give people a couple plays that they can run now, an actionable step. Yo, here go, boom, 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 boom.
Okay, guys, so let's talk about how to get.
Oh, he about to get into it.
Let's talk about how to get a minimum. You say a light $100,000 in your business name, right? First thing first, gotta have good credit, guys. Even if you don't have good credit, even I started, my credit was less than a 500. It might take 3 months, 6 months, a year, but build your credit profile up to a minimum of a 700, right? So what does good credit look like, right? What does credit look like that the banks like to give you money? That means your credit is a 700, right? You got at least two primary credit cards, meaning credit cards that are for you, right? You got at least two primary credit cards with limits over $5,000. You got overall 5 accounts on your credit report, meaning account could be a credit card, a car, a mortgage, anything. You need at least 5 accounts on your credit report. Now, don't go out and start buying 3, 4, or 5 trade lines. The banks don't like to see more than 2 trade lines on your report because then they think you're trying to finesse the system, right? So in order to even get that 50, 100, 200,000 as a brand new business, your credit profile gotta be 700 score, at least 5 accounts, inquiries less than 3 in the last 6 months, and also you need a LLC, right? Go to your Secretary of State, make your LLC. Even if your LLC it can be 2 months old, 3 months old, the banks will still give you funding in the form of business credit cards, right? So let's get into which banks you can go to get a $10,000 business card, a $20,000 business card, right? So today I'm gonna give you probably about a solid 8 banks, right? The first bank, Key Bank. Key Bank will give you up to $20,000, right, on a business credit card, which is about 0 APR, I think from 6 to 12 months, meaning you're leveraging the bank money, right? Whether it's to invest in real estate, trucking, whatever business that you want to do, they're gonna give you about 10 to 20 grand on a brand new LLC without verifying any kind of tax returns, any kind of documents, and none of that stuff. So meaning, if you got a brand new LLC, that you're trying to get up and running and make money with, Key Bank will give you money. Truist, another bank, Truist Bank, which is mostly on the East Coast, from about Maine down to Florida, right? Also, they got branches in Texas as well. They will give you up to 20,000 on a business credit card and $50,000 on a business line of credit, no docs. No docs meaning you don't gotta show any kind of tax return. That you can just walk in there with an LLC, good credit, to give you that bag. M&T Bank, right? So now we're on our third bank. M&T Bank will give you up to 30,000 on a business credit card. A lot of these business credit cards, guys, are 0% interest from 6 to 18 months, right? So that's called leverage. Now you're not leveraging the bank money to go and invest in any business, right? Because say you had a $20,000 business credit card, right? Say that property costs $100,000, but you need $20,000 down. You can leverage the $20,000 business credit card, right? To buy that property, and now you're $20,000 in debt, right? You only got to make a minimum payment of like $200 to $300 a month towards that $20,000 debt. But while that 20 grand is about to make you thousands leverage. So far we got Key Bank, we got Truist, we got M&T. Let's go to PNC. PNC will give you a business credit card and a business line of credit up to $100,000. Now, in order to get that $100,000 business line of credit with M&T and PNC, your business credit got to be built out just a little bit, right? So you need those like net 30s accounts, right? I mean, you need those accounts like Uline, Granger. So, you got to set up a DUNS number, go on dunsandbradstreet.com, grab your DUNS numbers free of charge. You got to buy some vendor accounts. I'm sure there's a lot of YouTube videos on how to buy, vendor accounts, stuff like that. So we got Key Bank, we got Truist, M&T, PNC. We also got Chase, right? So I made myself famous pretty much online because I was the only person having Chase business card approvals up to 75,000 on one card. Like people was not seeing that until I started posting it online, and then everybody started stealing my phone, which is cool. Right? I say, hey, take my photos. Y'all can use it to market. I don't care.
People took your photos.
People would literally, I would post like my clients and my approvals in Facebook groups. So just for some motivation, people would screenshot it like it was their approval and try to market it to their clients for them, which is cool. But it's give me no.
No, it's not cool.
No, because like I want for everybody to make money and shine, but there's just a way that you do things, right? Cool. So Chase Bank will give you a business credit card up to $80,000 on one card. So let me tell you how to apply for Chase Bank, right? So the people that's getting 5, 10, 15K Chase cards, they're applying through Chase.com, right? The way I apply through Chase is through a banker. right? It's called a business banker. A business banker can send you a private DocuSign for the Chase business card, and basically that DocuSign is a Chase business credit card application. So instead of applying online and getting approval by the algorithm, a regular 510K approval, if I apply through a banker, you can get up to $80,000 on that Chase card, which is 0% interest for 12 months. Just imagine having 50 racks, 80,000. This on one card, again, no documents, right? So now what we're at, what's that? KeyBank, Truist, PNC, M&T, Chase. There's so many other banks, right, that people can go to get a business credit card. You just simply got to ask them, hey, this literally call your bank and ask them, hey, do y'all need any kind of documents, to approve me for this loan or business credit card? Because starting my company, that's all I did was literally calling banks all day, seeing which borough that they pull from, how much can I put down for the income being a brand new business, to determine how much money you will qualify for. So I just did a lot of testing in the beginning, a lot of failure. Now my company got a database of every 0% interest business credit card in the entire country. That's why now we can fund, whether it's somebody in Nebraska or Florida or Philly, Jersey, New York, we can fund a brand new business a minimum of 50 to 200,000 within 0% interest business credit cards.
So it pays to work with the experts.
It pays because one, we take the thinking, the hard work, and the stress out for you. Because when I was doing this on my own, I was stressing. Just imagine you spending months studying credit, funding. You go to apply for a car, you get denied. You're like, yo, what was I studying?
Right.
You're like, what was the point of me putting in all that work? Bro, I was depressed. I'm like, yo, I just wasted like 6 months studying credit. I can even get approved, but sometimes you gotta knock your head, call, hey, why did I get denied? Then the banks will tell you, hey, your credit was too low. Oh, hey, you have too many inquiries. Oh, hey, you don't have no primary accounts that justify how much money you want. I'm like, okay, bet. Went back to the drawing board, got it done, reapply, approved. I'm like, okay, made a mental note. So now I can get a client in any form, right? Any business type, and I can get you money for your business. We do everything for you, and yeah.
Hey, and the one thing I want people that's watching this or just recently applied for something that didn't get approved, that to always call and find out why they denied you.
Yeah, so
I had applied for. No, I was gonna say I applied for this bank and they denied me. Come to find out, I called them and they couldn't verify the address. As soon as I verified the address, I got the approved.
Always call a reconsideration line, right? Because they will tell you why they denied you for that, whether it was a business credit card, a personal credit card, business loan. They will tell you why exactly you got denied. So always, because like it was so many times where we applied for a client that had great credit that got denied simply because we might have put down one letter wrong on EIN. So we called the reconsideration line. They approved it within a day, 2 days, approved. So just never give up. Never.
Never give. That's just in life in general. But for sure, I'm telling y'all, like, make that phone call. Because, like, in my situation, as simple as that, we couldn't verify your address because it was 2 different addresses that they saw. And it was like, we didn't know which one was which. As soon as I verified, it's like, okay, cool, here you go. So always doing that. But, like, yo, man, you just you talk about courses and, you bought a lot of courses. You just gave a course for free. That's a lot of game right there.
Yeah, so literally just taught them how to get at least 200,000. Because KeyBank give business line of credit $50K, business credit card $20K, that's $70K. Truist to give you a business credit card $20K, business line of credit $50K. So that's $70K plus $70K, that's $140. Chase will give you up to $50,000 on a credit card. That's what's that? That's $190. PNC give you $20 on a business credit card, almost $100 on a line of credit. So if you can't get a minimum of $100,000 with what I just told you to do, then you should really just rewind it, Or guys, we got a done for you service where I do everything for you, my team. We work with you one-on-one. We get you the money. Then we charge you a fee on the back end.
So there's no reason you can't win.
Yeah, because like honestly, bro, even if you can't do it yourself, just go to the expert. Let them get you the money so you can leverage that money to do what you gotta do for your business, whether that's starting a brand new business or scaling your current business.
Yo, you know why I love this conversation, this episode? because we went into a couple different, factors of someone's entrepreneur life. Talk about the mindset of how, what mindset you need to be at. We talk about the depression points of, wait, sometimes you get to a low point. We talk about, the close friend situation, how that goes.
Yep.
Talk about what type of things you can do with money, buy companies, invest in companies that are already going and buy them off of them. And then we talk about how to get the money. Like, not to downplay anybody's stuff, like, this type of game is not really just out there.
It's not.
And you willingly just giving in this conversation. So I just want to, give you your flowers and just say I appreciate you for, sharing this, because I was like, I hope he drop a credit card on here or something like that. You literally dropped 4 or 5 of them, then gave the plays, then gave the ideas, then gave, some honest truth that you didn't even have to share. So definitely I want to say I appreciate you, man. If you can just, for sure, if you could just share your name, your Instagram, and then also how people can tap in with that done for you service.
Yeah, so guys, my name is Alphonso Horton. My Instagram is Dropout Millionaire, like DROP out millionaire. And my company is called scalewithfunding.com, like scale with funding. Essentially, we have a done for you service where we go in, we work with you one-on-one. We leverage our banking relationships, we leverage our knowledge, and we get you, whether it's 0% interest business credit cards, we get you business loans, we do everything for you for free on the front end. We only charge you a fee if we are successful, right? So we do everything free up front. We only charge you a fee once the money is in your hand available. Then we send you an invoice for it. It'd be 8% to 10% of the amount that was funded, which can be paid through the business credit card or business loan. So there's no money out of your pocket, right? So which takes us about 3 weeks or less to do everything for you. So now you can walk away with working capital to go and invest and scale your business.
Wait a minute. You do all this in 3 weeks?
3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, we get the money.
Yeah, if y'all don't go to the website, you playing. So 3 weeks? I'm thinking this is like a, a 60-day process.
Nope.
2 months, then you got the money you need. So you can, it's the top of the year, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Before you even get into February, you already got the money you need.
Yeah, they can literally start, let's say they start February 1st, they can have the money before March 1st, right? The money in their hand, in their account to go and leverage to do whatever you want to do. What do you want to do? Real estate, trucking, restaurant. There's so many businesses that we can do, guys. So I really just want y'all to take the last thing I'm about to say is just focus on these 3 things, right? Knowledge. Any business you want to do, get a mentor. Cut the learning curve in half. Get a mentor to accelerate your learning process and accelerate your success rate and lessen your failure rates. A lot of businesses fail. 65% of businesses fail within a decade. That's 65%. And a lot of that being minority-owned businesses. A lot. Right? So first thing, get a mentor. Second thing, get some working capital for your business. Right? Because the thing about business funding, business credit cards, say if your business does not go right, the worst they can do is just put it on your credit report. Say if you owe a 10, 20, 30, $50,000 debt, they can put it on your credit report, which is illegal. You can go and get that discharge or removed legally from your credit report. So there's really no risk into leveraging the bank money. There's risk, but there's calculated risk, right? And third, to run a successful business, you got to put in the work, right? Don't expect your business to take off in a month, 6 months, 12 months. It took me literally a year of studying it before I made a penny. A year of working and studying 3, 4, 5 hours a day, studying finance, studying credit, the banker rules, this policy, that policy. It took me a year of self-education just to land my first client. A lot of people will not be that disciplined to study 3, 4 hours a day. And I was studying each and every day. Wasn't going out, wasn't traveling. I was studying because I always had that long-term vision, guys. So, guys in business, you got to have vision, right? You got to be able to see a year from now. You got to be able to take, how am I doing today is going to, benefit me 1 year from now. Because business is not a race, bro. It's really a marathon.
That's a fact. So, again, appreciate you for being on this platform and also being the first person on this platform.
Thank you. That's a blessing, bro. And I want to thank you, bro, because every day I wake up on Instagram, bro, you're pouring out free knowledge each and every day. And I love because you show the real raw material. You show your wins, you show your losses, because people don't only gotta show their wins. Like you show everything in a like basically giving like a real life. Like yo, some days it's not always go. Some days you might be sick. You might be depressed. That's why I love your page as well, brother.
No, I appreciate that, man. I think that's just key because you know you don't want to give anybody false expectation and they tap into something and they like, yo, this just happened, and I know that happens, but I never projected that, so I always make sure I project, you know, the good stuff, the bad stuff, and just everything that goes on because that is real life, it's real business, and it will happen. It's not the fact that you're not going to have a bad day, you know, keyword a day in business, not a bad business, you had a bad day. So as long if I feel like setting expectations, whether it's business, relationships, people in general, when you set expectations, it's clear. Now you go into a little bit more comfortable. Hey, look, listen, when you do this project, expect that it's going to take 90 days. Expect that it's going to take, 6 months. Expect that some of your contractors may get sick and can't come in and work that day. Expect that a deal might get pushed back. Expect these things. I hope it doesn't happen, but expect these things so you can go in like, dang, Boone did tell you this was going to happen. You know what? I'm cool with that. I understand. I already mentally prepared myself for that. Alphonso already told me to expect 3 weeks, so I shouldn't be calling him back like, why am I $100,000 in my pocket tomorrow? I just put the application in yesterday.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's all about setting expectations. So again, man, appreciate you for being on here. You guys make sure you tap in with him. He already told you guys 700 or higher. It's a lot of people that have 700 credit scores, 700 or higher. You guys can get funded. You guys get situated, and just make sure you guys get what you need because 63% of business. This is a proven fact too. 63% of businesses don't get started. 63% of people don't get started in business due to lack of funds. So if you have a way to get the funds, there's no reason why you can't start a business. And then we have programs that show you guys how to get in real estate, how to put everything. So this is a one-stop shop. You have everything you need. But again, man, appreciate you. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode.
Thank y'all.